At BamboHR, we talk to hundreds of businesses each and every day, and they all seem to say the same thing. They're overwhelmed. So much of their time is spent answering questions, resolving payroll issues, or making sure benefits are entered correctly. But not only that, they're losing data and they don't even know it. Or worse, it's still in spreadsheets. So they start looking for an HR system to solve the problem, automate these operational tasks, and make my job easier. And they're absolutely right to start looking. Technology is great at this sort of thing. But there's a trap they tend to fall into, something they don't realize at first, and something that ends up costing them time, money, and a little embarrassment. They're so focused on solving the operational needs of today, they neglect to consider the needs of tomorrow. And the fact is, the needs of tomorrow will be squarely focused on more strategic HR outcomes, things like building culture, attracting talent, and improving performance. One of the most important things that you can do when looking for an HR system is make sure you project forward. Not doing so will probably be a pain and probably expensive. And the longer you go, the bigger you get, and the more data you accumulate, the harder it is to change. So just for a moment, let's look at the evolution of demand on HR. What happens as you grow? Transactional necessities, things like updating employee information or processing payroll, activities that in terms of strategic value are relatively low, they start to give way to more strategic demands. And suddenly, you're not only responsible for making sure everyone gets paid on time, but reward and recognition programs, learning and development, and performance management. And that's where BamboHR comes in. We've engineered our software to be the leading solution to automate the operational, because it's the critical first step that sets you free to do greater work. But it's not just about automation. It's about automating those tasks in a way that delivers maximum value. Our goal is to provide you an HR platform that not only makes your life easier, but that helps you become more valuable to your organization. So enjoy this brief overview of BamboHR and contact us if you'd like to try it out for yourself, if you'd like a one-on-one demo, or with any questions at all. Without any more delay, let's take a closer look at BamboHR. We'll start by logging into the system. BamboHR is completely web-based software, so you can log in from anywhere you have internet access. In terms of security, all data is stored under military-grade encryption, and it's the same level of security used in online banking. Once logged in, we first come to BamboHR Home. Home is where you can find everything that's important to you. You can review your time off balances, request time off, see who's out of the office, and see if there are any upcoming birthdays or work anniversaries. This is also where you come to find out what's happening at your company. All reminders, notifications, and announcements are specific to each individual employee. You can get to know new employees by reviewing their answers to questions found in the Get to Know You email, which we'll cover more of when we get to onboarding. And you can easily find important company links and get at-a-glance notice of trainings, goals, and your most run reports. We'll skip over the My Info tab and proceed next to the Employees tab. Don't worry, we'll come right back and show you what this looks like when we review an employee record. The Employees tab is your employee directory and more. In the list view, you can apply edits to employee records using the Power Edit feature, download an employee's W-4 or I-9, and you can customize this table so that it's just right for you. The directory view is used to quickly look up an employee extension or email, and you can search using the search field and bookmark it for quick access. Finally, the org chart view lets you see the structure of your company and who reports to whom. Now let's take a quick look at an employee record. You'll notice it's organized with some basic info on the left, including employee number, office location, who they report to, and if they're a manager, you'll see their direct reports. Then along the top, you've got all the different types of information you might possibly keep on your employees. The Personal tab keeps track of your employees' personal information, including date of birth, social security number, and any other identification number specific to your employee's country. BamboHR is a global company and supports many different currencies and 7 languages in addition to English. If you have offices in multiple countries or multilingual departments, each user can select the language they'd prefer to see things in. The Job tab includes things like hire date, employment status, compensation, and bonus information, and the effective dates associated with each. Please note, this information can only be accessed by administrators or managers with the appropriate permissions. The Time Off tab displays all the different leave types you might have as part of your benefits. You can record any time off manually or calculate how many hours you'll need to take that vacation. The Emergency tab is for emergency contact info. Pretty self-explanatory, but very important to have this information up to date. The Documents tab is for those of you working towards becoming a paperless company. Not only can you get rid of all those filing cabinets, but going paperless can have a tremendous impact on new and existing employees. In a poll on green employment by monstertrack.com, 80% of young professionals are interested in working for companies that have a positive impact on the environment, and 92% would be more inclined to work for a company that's environmentally friendly. Next, we have the Notes tab, and it's really important you use this to document any difficult conversations or disciplinary actions with your employees. If your company ever finds itself in an employee-employer lawsuit, the Notes tab could be your best bet for increasing your chances of a successful outcome or to avoid litigation altogether. The Benefits tab shows you what type of plan has been elected, coverage type, and dependents. The Training tab shows you any upcoming trainings assigned to an employee and is also where you would go to record a completed training. BamboHR even sends email reminders to your employees and their managers to make sure trainings don't fall through the cracks. The Assets tab is a custom tab that allows you to track company-issued equipment. We understand that different companies need to track different things, and BamboHR is flexible enough to make that happen. So there's a quick review of an employee record. And remember, we viewed this information through the eyes of an administrator. You can tailor your employee's view however you like by defining your permissions and user groups and settings. Admin and employee groups are available by default, but you can create any number of groups to suit your business. Some of our most successful clients create manager self-service groups, for example, to approve things like time off requests or to handle performance data. Research done by Towers Watson found that 72% of organizations report less work for HR generalists and 2/3 less work for the HR service center overall with this type of self-service. BamboHR also features a mobile app available for iOS and Android devices. Access the employee directory, check time off balances, and request and approve time off all from your phone. Now that we've touched upon how BamboHR gets you organized, let's dive into some of its more advanced features. And we'll start with our Applicant Tracking System, or ATS. To access the ATS, simply click on Job Openings. This is where all your applicant data is stored and where you'll go to create new job openings. To create a new job opening, select Add Job Opening and begin entering the required job specifics. We'll put in job title, job status, hiring lead, employment type, and a sample job description. Finally, we'll specify the location. From there, you have 12 application questions that you can ask to quickly screen your applicants. Maybe you'd like to see a little more than just a resume, so you request a cover letter or maybe even require it. You can also add your own custom questions to help you find that perfect culture fit. And from there, you can preview the job opening to make sure it's to your liking. Before you hit save, choose whether you want to publish your new job opening on Glassdoor, Indeed, or Simply Hired by simply checking the small box. Your job posting is now live. Share your job opening on your social sites, including LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And last but certainly not least, assemble your hiring team by adding collaborators. With your hiring team in place, you can track thoughts, comments, and impressions of your candidates and see how they stack up against others in your candidate pool. Improve communication with candidates by emailing them directly from the ATS. Applicant tracking systems are proven to save you time. In fact, ATS systems can save you up to 90% of the time it would normally take to post a job, screen resumes, and schedule interviews with applicants. And ATS can also significantly improve employer brand and employee engagement by improving communication with candidates. 58% of applicants who cite a bad hiring experience identify poor communication as the main reason. And remember, companies with applicant tracking systems are 40% more likely to be considered best in class. Now that we've posted an open job, reviewed our candidates, we'll hire our employee and begin the process of onboarding. One of the first things you'll see as we begin the onboarding process is the option to include a new hire packet. We'll check the box to send a new hire packet, and we'll configure it on the next page. You'll notice the date of birth, social security number, gender, and marital status fields disappear when you elect to send a new hire packet. That's because you'll be asking your new hire to fill it out on their own, which will save you quite a bit of time. We'll fill out their job information, contact information, employment status, and compensation. I'll point out that even though we're giving our new hire the ability to update their own personal information as part of the new hire packet, we're not giving them self-service access. To allow for self-service access for things like requesting time off, make sure self-service access is turned on. We'll hit save and create the new hire packet. Now, we can configure the 4 sections of our new hire packet. In the when and where section, you can specify the exact location of your office, who they'll meet with if it's not yourself, and any other instructions you may have for them. Maybe your office is a little difficult to find, or you'd like to take them out for lunch on day 1. Next, in the employee personal info section, you'll check this box to have your new hire fill out their basic employee info and upload a profile photo. Then we have one of my favorite features, the Get to Know You email. Send a few questions to help get to know your new hire and share their answers with their department, division, location, or the entire organization. Employees will appreciate the electronic introduction, but you can put their responses to much more strategic use. And here's what I mean. Let's start with a few simple questions like, where did you grow up, or what sports do you enjoy? Chances are they share a hometown, a sport, or interest with another person in your organization. Go introduce them. These personal connections that you create help decrease your new hire's time to productivity, keep them engaged, and improve overall satisfaction. Next, you might ask them their favorite restaurant or store. Why? So you can personalize rewards. Reward programs foster engagement, satisfaction, and performance. And personalizing those rewards only increases the impact. And remember, a highly effective recognition program can lower voluntary turnover by up to 31%. Finally, you could ask about professional development, like do they want to acquire any certifications or attend a particular training or be a part of the trade show team? It's up to you, but you can use their answers when putting together career development programs. Career development programs are incredibly impactful in influencing a number of strategic HR outcomes, including engagement, culture, and performance. An opportunity for growth and development is also one of the top non-financial motivators, and it's wanted by over 3/4 of the workforce. In the last step, we can assign tasks and send documents to our new hire to complete before his first day. And we call this employee self-onboarding. Things like I-9s, W-4s, or confidentiality agreements can be sent to your new employee before they even step foot in the office. Pre-boarding, as it's called, saves you a tremendous amount of time, makes a great impression on your new hire, especially millennials. And from a competitive advantage standpoint, it's performed by less than half of all organizations. Once you've got your questions and tasks assigned, hit preview to review and send. Finally, you can review what tasks have been completed in the employee record under the onboarding tab. As part of the onboarding process, or for any other document that needs signing, BamboHR is a native e-signature tool built right in, and e-signatures are fantastic in terms of improving efficiency. Not only can they reduce the amount of time it takes to obtain signature approvals by up to 50%, but for a company of 100 employees, they can free up as much as 40 man-hours per month by avoiding paper-intensive processes. You could also save up to 30% in hard costs associated with printing, scanning, and filing. To enable e-signatures within your documents, simply go to File, select New Hire Forms, select the form, and select Signature Setup. You can specify signing order if you require multiple signature approvals. There's also a signed documents report, which shows each document sent, the date, when it's been signed and completed, and what's still pending. Green check marks indicate all parties have signed, which is huge for compliance purposes. Go into a document to send individual and group reminders. Okay, so now our new hire is on board and he's signed his new hire paperwork. He'll probably want to know how to request time off. And we touched upon this briefly in the employee record, but time off can also be requested from the dashboard or from the mobile app. In this instance, I'll request some time off from the dashboard. Simply select Request Time Off, specify the time off type, select your days, and include a note for your manager. The mobile app works in the same way. As a manager, you'll be notified of time off requests here to approve or deny. And remember, you can review the Who's Out calendar on your dashboard and on the mobile app to see who else is out. Electronic time off may seem like a nice to have, but it's more than that. Not only is it linked to increased satisfaction and organizational performance, you'll provide a better experience for your employees and managers, and you'll be able to service more employees without increasing your own department's headcount. Want one more? Companies on average give away nearly 3 days of extra PTO per employee per year due to inaccurately tracking time off and time off requests. You can also create custom workflows and approvals from settings for things like compensation changes, employment status updates, job information, and promotions. You'll streamline decision-making processes and route digital paperwork quickly and efficiently. 2 separate studies found this type of automation can reduce administrative time spent by up to 50% and reduce administrative costs by an average of 60%. That's according to the Gig Information Group and the Cedar Group, respectively. Want a custom approval that isn't on the list? Maybe you want to set up a process for requesting new office equipment like a stand-up desk. Click here to build a custom request. Whether it's voluntary or involuntary, you're undoubtedly going to have to offboard an employee at one time or another. To access offboarding in BamboHR, go to the employee's record and select offboarding. Similar to onboarding, you'll have a checklist of tasks that you can assign to the employee, your managers, and others in the organization. Last but not least, we have an ever-growing library of BamboHR reports, which we touched upon briefly during our overview of e-signatures and performance management. But let's take a closer look at how the reports section is organized. Along the left-hand side, your reports are organized by type. Standard reports are just that, your existing BamboHR reports, which include reports like applicant source reports, employment status history, salary history, and turnover rate reports, to name a few. My Reports is for your custom reports. To create a custom report, simply start by clicking Add Report. We'll create a simple employee location report, so let's first name it, select our criteria, and hit Save. And there it is, simple as that. You can share the report immediately with anyone in system, or export, print, and email if you need to share with someone else. Manage Report shows any report created by a user in the system. And finally, the Signed Documents section shows you what you've sent out to receive signatures, including when each was sent, if it's been signed, and what's still pending. That concludes our high-level overview of BamboHR. Like I said, call us today if you'd like to try BamboHR for yourself, if you'd like a one-on-one guided demo, or for any question at all.